Finally, we finish with an Eastern Conference clash between the Knicks and the Celtics here in this one. Jason Tatum uses the screen to drill the three. The Celtics lead 64-43 going into halftime. So to the third now. Knicks trail by 22. Josh Hart finds Karl Anthony Towns, nails the deep three. So now the Knicks down by 19. About 25 seconds remaining. Knicks down 10. Brunson works the screen, drills the three. Brunson had 22 points. 4 of 9 from 3 in this game. The Knicks cut the lead down to 7. And here comes Kristaps Porzingis, Wendy.
Backdoor there. You got to keep an eye on Porzingis always.
And then the very next play here, Towns attacks the paint, misses the dunk. He seems to hurt maybe his knee on the landing. He would, though, return later in the fourth quarter. It was, though, just a little bit too late. The Celtics up 14. Tatum kicks it to Brown, nails the three. Brown had 24 points, 8 rebounds. Tatum 25, 10, and 9 in this one. The Celtics get the win 118-105. So Boston, they've now won each of their first 3 games against the Knicks this season by an average of 21 points a game. That does not bode well for New York long term. These teams have a 49% chance of meeting in the Eastern Conference semis. That's according to ESPN Analytics. Legs, I think that the gap, it seems wide between the Celtics and the New York Knicks here. At the beginning of the season, maybe that wasn't the expectation. How big do you see it?
Huge gap. I mean, you're talking about the difference between the Knicks and these 3 teams that they're getting smoked by. You know, they're able to compete with these teams offensively. The problem is all of those teams are elite defensively. The Knicks are not an elite defensive team. And some of it is personnel. Some of it maybe can be scheme at times and things that you can do. But a lot of it is just flat-out effort and toughness. And I think they lack that. When push comes to shove and it has to turn into an alley fight, they don't have it. These are some of the plays I want to point out because this is just way too easy. I mean, Jason Tatum basically goes from 35 feet, finishes with a dunk. He never felt any contact on that play and nobody within 5 feet when he finishes it. Here's another one in transition. Yeah, you got Knicks just stopping at the top of the key of the three-point line, running back in transition, and Sam Hauser just runs to an open corner for the easiest shot he's going to get all day. And there's a number of examples similar to that throughout the game. Look, Boston does some things to some teams because they're just too good, but there's other plays like that. That's just not good enough effort, concentration, or attention to detail against these top teams.
Yeah, I think if using geography metaphors here, you ready for that? I think the Celtics were going to maybe see if they were, as the gap was as wide as the Charles with the Knicks, but it turned out it was as wide as the Hudson.
Okay.
Because the Knicks were never competitive in this game. It looks like it was okay with 13. They were blown out in the first quarter. I will say this. The one thing that the Knicks have going for them is they are going to get, at some point, Mitchell Robinson back. Now, he is not going to fix everything, but he will give Tom Thibodeau some options on how he wants to structure his defense, on how he wants to give Karl Towns a sign.
But does that solve their as Perk was yelling the entire game, get out of a drop coverage?
It will allow them
to
manipulate matchups a little bit better, but it's not going to completely solve their situation.
Okay, so you said they could get back at some point. That's why Shams is here. When could we see Mitchell Robinson return here? And how about Karl Anthony Towns, even in Wednesday's game here after we saw that knee issue? They play against the Sixers.
Yeah, Malik, I'll start with Karl Anthony Towns. I'm told he is fine. He's good with whatever knee issue that appeared. The bigger question for the Knicks, as Brian just said, is that potential ace card, whatever you want to call it. I don't know if it's an ace card or what it is.
It's more like a jack.
So this is a very important week for Mitchell Robinson. He is very close to a return to action. He's had multiple scrimmages over the last week or so. He's going to have another full scrimmage early this week. And the goal for Mitchell Robinson is to make his Knicks season debut at some point in the next 7 days, from my understanding, and the Knicks could make a determination here at some point this week on when that could be. Mitchell Robinson was their starting center last year. He has the ability to start potentially alongside Karl Anthony Towns, but if nothing else, provide a backup for Karl Anthony Towns, potentially play next to Cat in lineups down the stretch of games, providing that center. We saw Karl Anthony Towns. Statistically, he's playing better than he did last year, but next to Rudy Gobert, that team went to the Western Conference Finals. And so let's see how potentially that duo looks playing in big games for the Knicks.
Big week for Mitchell Robinson here, but again, Shams is saying in the next 7 days is the hope here. You can see the Knicks in our Wednesday doubleheader right here on ESPN. The Sixers
How's it going, everybody? Villa Sports Network here. Just want to thank you guys for your support on the channel. Thank you guys for watching the video. Hope you all enjoyed it. Also want to kind of remind you to don't forget to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment on the video if you like as well. But regardless of the fact, thank you again for your support, and hope to see you on the next video.